Hey guys, right, welcome to a new video. More progress on the coupe. So today's video, we're going to give you a walkthrough to strip your subframe, full rear subframe off the car. This applies for basically all E36s, doesn't matter what model it is, whether it's coupe, convertible, touring, saloon, doesn't apply to compact, any engine, automatic, whatever, they're all the same. So we're going to get this stripped off. The reason is, I suspect this rust is going under there further, and it's probably all soggy in these bushes and stuff doing, and we want to get it done and done to a good standard. So I'm going to drop the whole subframe off, split everything down, and show you the process to refurbish your subframe. Here's some that a friend of mine's been busy with. As you know, I sell lots of bushes for these cars, so it's a service that's now being offered. So that's some that we've already stripped there for some customers. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess in here at the moment, but we need the subframe off this car as well. So it seems like a good time to get this ripped off and basically show you a removal video and show you the process. So let's get into it. Let's get this pulled off. First job, we've got to get the car up in the air safely. If you've got a ramp, obviously this is far easier. If you're on the floor, like probably most of you are, my preference is to get a pair of old wheels like these and put these under the front wheels. So jack the front of the car up, get the front wheels on some alloys, and then on the rear we're then going to jack the car up and we'll put some axle stands somewhere under the jacking points. Obviously if your car's very rusty like this one, then I'll probably have to spread the load with a bit of wood, but you kind of get the general idea. The idea is to get this nice and high so we've got loads of clearance to get under there and work and undo stuff, because we're doing it on the floor. So yeah, stay tuned. So what we want to do is find the subframe, which is there, that big chunky bit, and we're going to jack in the middle of that and get the car nice and high up. Right, that's the back nice and high up on the front. Sorry, that's the front nice and high up. So that gives us a nice safe working area when we're disconnecting the prop and the exhaust and stuff. So now we're going to the back. Let's get the back up in the air. Similar thing. So what we want to do under here is, you can see the diff, and then just in front of it is that sort of rusty bit of metal. That's the subframe carrier. So we're going to jack off that. Jack off, haha. We're going to jack up that as high as it will go. And then once it's up in the sky, we can put some axle stands and stuff under the seals, and then the subframe's safe to be removed. So as you can see, it's like a good 2 foot off the ground, 1.5 foot, something like that. So I might just readjust these now the back's up and just bring this wheel down, but I can just jack on the chassis rail or something like that. But yeah, gives us plenty of room. So just chuck our axle stands under these seals. I think if I remember rightly, this one's pretty solid. Definitely have to get some timber and spread the load because this jacking point don't look too pretty. So yeah. Anyway, that's the car pretty much up and safe. So next up we can get under there and start actually looking at the bolts and seeing what we've got to do. Right, she's up in the air. A bit sketchy. So as a fail safe, we've just put these wheels either side, a bit of timber, so if anything does move, it's not going to fall right to the ground. So that's now up in place, and then we can have a good look at what's festering, which is oil leaks on the diff, probably crusty old floor. I'd be interested to see how good or bad that is. I think it's going to be pretty fucked. But yeah, start the strip down. So first things first, got to take the back box off. Our 13mm bolts there, and obviously the hanger up there. Then we can whip the wheels off, and then we'll just be left with a bare subframe. to address. And then our plan of attack will basically be undo the trailing arm bolts. There's 3 at the front, 16 mils, 3 either side. You've got the rear shock bolt, I think that's an 18 mil. But before you go any further at this stage, I would probably try and free off the shafts from the hub, because sometimes they can be seized in there. Ideally you'd want to do it whilst the car's still on the ground, but I'll do it at this point just because it makes more sense. Once the wheels are off and the shafts are free, you then disconnect the brake calipers and let that hang off. You can leave the brakes attached to the car so it doesn't make a right mess. And then at that point, release the prop. That's 4 16mm bolts at the front of the diff. Undo your handbrake cables, that's inside the car, and then we can drop the 4 subframe mounting points down. There'll be a few other bits and pieces in the way, but that's the long and short of it. So all of this you can do with like Halfords toolkit, no special tools needed. But like I say, main thing to consider is make sure you get those shafts free, because if they're seized in there, trying to free them off on the floor is a nightmare. They're still tricky, sometimes they don't even come undone on the car, but if we do it now, we stand a better chance. So first things first, wheels off and get those shafts freed off. Right, we've attacked our centre caps, that's now off. So the next job is you've got to free off this locking nut. You probably want to get like a chisel or a flathead screwdriver and open up this locking part, but to be honest with you, I'm just going to be lazy and send it. So that's the bolt off. Do that on both sides, and then we should be able to knock that through with a hammer. This is another one of those don't do as I do, do as I say moments. Don't use a gun. You should be smashing that free to open this gap up, because it's like a locking tab. So when you put it back on, you've got to make sure you seal that down. And then to get the shaft moving, we don't need to get it out, we just want to get it moving. Hey, that doesn't happen often. And then around the other side, I'd say there's a reasonable chance that someone's done the wheel bearings, because they don't normally come out this easy. Look at that. Can you hear the rust? If they are seized in there, you want to get a ball peen hammer and then hit it with another lump hammer. That's your best chance of getting it out. If it doesn't come out with that, write it off. Cars are right off. It's not fixable. Wheel bearings loose, shafts are free. Next job is to smash off the wheel bolts, and there's a locking wheel nut key in there, as you can see. So let's find that. Now we've got to find the tool. Is she in the boot lid? No, she's not. Right, let's find a locking wheel nut key somewhere. Bear with me. Ow. Nice. No cracks or welds. That's a win. Right, that's the shaft moving, which is great. The wheel's off. It doesn't look too bad under the touchwood, just a lot of mud. Like probably the most mud I've ever seen on the underside of a car. Anyway, next job is get this exhaust off. So I'm not going to show you this because it's way too awkward to film and show you, but essentially you've got 4 hangers. You can either undo these 3 13mm bolts, 2 either side, 2 here, or you can undo the hangers, which is 2 13mm, and then split it there, get that out of the way. Right, that's the back box off.
How long did it take you to find that one out? Or what did you watch on YouTube?
I can't remember. I probably watched M539 restorations. So the back box off, we're just taking a prop off now, so it's a 416mm bolts. When you're laying under there underneath, to undo the prop, you'd probably have to have the handbrake on so you can undo them because they're tight as hell and you can't get a gun on there. If you've got an LSD, dead easy. Stick your screwdriver straight through the brake disc and caliper and it'll stop the rear end spinning. Right, we've taken out our trailer arm bolts. So you've got these three 18mm. They don't look too good, to be honest. They've definitely, they're ready for replacement. The trailer arm pocket, well, that is a matter in itself. There's no hole in there yet, but yeah, it's definitely, hang on. You can kind of get a bit of a look at it. There's no holes in there, but you're never cleaning that up. That's pitted and corroded, so I think this will a good time to put a set of trailer arm pockets into the car. So once we wire wheel it all, we'll see what it's like, but I'm pretty certain it's going to want some. So once you've taken them out, this the front arm will then pop down. Then that's a good time to drop your shock bolt out. That's an 18mm. And then at that point, we've obviously taken the prop off, and my glamorous assistant has. So the prop's now free.
That's not free.
Well, the bolt's undone.
Yeah, I've undone the bolts.
You can then put your leg on here, drop this down, pull out the rear spring, and then these should pull off the body as well. It's probably a tight fit, so I need a hammer for that. But anyway, that's all free. So next job is to disconnect this rear caliper. So we're going to leave the brakes on the car, essentially, deal with that later. And then also be a sensor wire, if you can see. Hopefully the lighting's okay. So you've got a pad wear sensor on this side that runs along the spring perch, and there's a little box up there that disconnects. And there's also an ABS sensor on this side as well, so both of those can be undone. The box just opens up from the bottom like so. Pull these out and then you just squeeze them together and that pops free. Same with that one. And then on the passenger side, you've just got an ABS sensor. There's not a pad wear sensor on that side. So we'll crack those bits off and then pull this caliper off. And then we're pretty much ready to replicate this on the passenger side. And then we can attack the main subframe mounting points, and that's the frame out of the car. Brush seam sealer on it, or under seal.
What I'm really not looking forward to is oh my god, that drive shaft bolt has definitely seen better days.
Also, have you seen these the nuts on those studs?
I can't quite see them here, you're gonna have to take over.
Same as your one. Like, there's just not much left of that bolt.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh look, some more rust down there.
Yeah, don't look too close. Right, so before you actually pull the subframe out of the car, undo the main 4 bolts, you do want to pull off your handbrake assembly. So if you lift up your glove armrest, the gator just pulls out. It's on like a plastic clip. You won't break it, just yank it up. I think you pull from the front first generally. And then you're left with this. So that, I think they're 9mm and 12mm bolts from memory. But basically, if you tension the handbrake, pop the locking nut off both sides, and then pop the 12mm off, and then that's the way to go. So just before we pull out this frame, there's a couple of little jobs to do. One is pull your handbrake cables through, but before you pull them through, you've got these tabs alongside the prop. Just pull them straight down, and then they pull out, and that's a miracle. They don't normally pull out that easily, they usually fight you, so be prepared to give them a good yank. And then this side, similar thing. That one's gonna fight us. That's a two-hander, so we'll do that off camera. And then the prop, once you've undone the 4 bolts, you then just need to pry it apart because it will be seized together.
It won't come all the way out with it. No. As long as it's loose, it should be fine.
Right, so that's free. That cable. So, little update, the calipers don't fit through this gap here. The reason we're leaving the calipers on is because we don't want brake fluid to go everywhere, but when we drop the frame down we need to pull the caliper through here and it doesn't fit. So we don't want to be fighting drive shafts under the car if we can avoid it, because it's all very nasty. So we tried splitting the caliper, it's still too big, so we're just going to whip it off here, pull the cable through and then push it back in. Right, that's nice and easy on that side, and then rinse and repeat on this side.
Probably need a nut.
Right, you join me in a terrible position, but we're now ready to drop this frame down. So you've got 4 bolts to pull out, they're all 18 mils. 2 at the rear, these are through bolts that go up into the body. And then the 2 at the front are basically studs, which can shear off from the body or basically just get seized inside the bush because it's aluminium. The head of the bolt is the head of the nut, sorry, is an 18 mil as well. You can see this one is absolutely rotten, so it's going to be fun. But yeah, get these off, and then basically you get your jack up under here, and then just gently tease it down, and she should come down without too much drama.
Just a quick one.
Yeah.
You've currently got nothing holding the subframe at the moment.
Yeah, well I'm going to pull the fronts out because that'll be right, and then the back. Yeah, because it's got a nut on the top, hasn't it? So it will never come further than what it is.
No. Wound it out the body instead of taking the nut off.
Which is fine.
Yeah, which is fine. Oh, no, that was actually come undone.
So that's how it should come out. It's like a washer, and there's a nut. The nut is obviously going in the bin, so that washer comes down. And then you're just left with a stud at the front. This side is all seized together, so that's pulled the stud out the body, but that's not really a big deal because you can either get new studs, put new bolts in from like an E90 chassis, because it's a complete replacement. So once the front's done, you want to really get your jack under next, because it will fall down at quite a rate sometimes. Get that off. That nut is like possibly the worst I've ever seen.
It's quite crispy.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you'd be surprised how well that'll clear up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get them both moving and then I'll get out. I think that's swelled to like a 20mm bolt now. Oh my god, I'm so glad I got the hood up.
And now Oh no, I meant for undoing the subframe.
Oh.
Because
yeah.
kind of falls forward on it.
Yeah.
Crash. Here it comes. Coming crashing down. Crash. Crash. Crash.
Fucking hell, those subframe bushings are way worse than my touring.
I'll do the death side tonight. I've just taken the subframe out of the car for a friend. Oh, I didn't die. Right, what have we forgotten? That seems like it's really nicely in place. Oh, there's still the prop on it. There we go, that's why. Oh, hang on, we're just about to kill the diff speedo sensor. It's caught on the diff. So. That's pretty much off now. There we go.
Yeah. Gosh. Right, that's out. This stud is bent to buggery, and that's basically because the front stud on the passenger side was bent or broken, so then it's all just hinged on this, but these will be replaced anyway, so not too worried about that. Anyway, that's how you remove your subframe. So pretty intense, lot to do, pretty tricky on your own, but can be done. But yeah, that's enough for that video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. We strip the thing down and show you the removal process, all the bolts and bits and pieces. So yeah, stay tuned, keep watching.